What's up, everybody? Good evening.
Good evening. Yes.
Good evening.
So, does anybody recognize what the new theme song was?
Yes,
Okay, I figured you might.
I am a real American.
That's right.
Hulk
Nice.
Hogan's original theme song
That's right.
when he first appeared in the WWF that eventually became the WWE.
Yep.
So
That's
that
when
was
Hulkamania was running wild, brother.
when it was running wild. And guys, speaking of things that are running wild right now on YouTube, I want to kind of start the show on a very positive note and give the sincerest and utmost congratulations to Papa Brad's Gaming, who somehow defies all the odds, in which he literally gets between 5 to 34 views per video, but somehow managed to eclipse over 3,000 subscribers. So congratulations, Papa Brad. And you know what? What you ought to do is you ought to put out a public service announcement letting all your fellow home arcade YouTubers know what firm you're using to acquire so many subscribers so quickly. I think you should do everybody in the community a solid, since you put out a community thanks to the actual home arcade community. Because I don't know how that works, guys. I don't know how you get 35 views per video, but somehow you get over 3,000 subscribers. I don't know how that happens.
Magic.
I don't know.
All righty then.
The views and opinions on this show do not
So
Do not
congrats
reflect
to
the overall
Papa Brad
opinions of
on the
this ultra power.
3K. Congrats,
Well, we're all
Brad.
hoping to get 3K someday. I know Jesse's at what are you at, Jesse? 5?
I don't even know. I don't look at that.
I'm watching because we're all trying to
We're
catch up. I
we're
think
all trying to get there, but
I think Zod and I are pretty close.
we're
And
pretty close. But we're trying to do it organically. We're not trying to do it by purchasing the subs. So hopefully,
well, speaking of subs, Mike is almost at 1K. And
oh my God, yeah. Mike
Getting
is doing,
very, very
Mike is doing
close.
a great
I
job.
looked today and I'm like, wow, Mike. I mean,
It's-
you could be any day.
Things are working.
It could be
Yeah,
any
well, you
day.
guys are burning the midnight oil.
Which are wrestling shorts that are getting like 3 billion views per. I mean, that's what Papa Brad ought to do if he really wants to get views. He ought to just put out shorts they're doing, like wrestling shorts, like Ric Flair going woo, and then have like have the whole thing going on, and people watch those for some reason. You made a great point.
They
Mike.
do, and I mean, and it's fun for me, as a wrestling fan to put these together, and it's not like I'm not just pulling clips off the internet and uploading them. You know what I mean? Re-uploading them. Every single thing I do, I try to
Mike was
customize
at
it.
every one of these live events. Like there's something you need to know about Mike. He's a diehard wrestling fan. He was there.
I was there.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, listen, I went to my share of Monday Nitros. I went to some WCW pay-per-views. I can honestly say I've never gone to a WWE event though. I was always a WCW.
I never have
Same
either.
here. Same here. Kevin, thanks, buddy. Will streaming all night get more super chats? I mean, I maybe.
I wonder about that though. If you ever do, guys ever think about that? If we ever did like a 24-hour
marathon
stream, nostalgia power, where we did it in shifts and we brought people on. I wonder how lucrative of a stream.
Well, he said at night, not all night.
Oh, streaming at night. Well, apparently I can't read
at night.
Well,
there you go.
I don't know.
I wasn't reading either because I was just going off of what you were saying, Mike.
We tried to
What if you do it like 3 in the
once.
morning, like an infomercial? People tend to spend money like at 3 o'clock in the morning.
You know what they do? My wife wakes up and all sorts of Amazon items get ordered between the 2 to 4 a.m. So, Kevin, thank you for the super chat. And yes, since I'm a wrestling guy,
Give me a hell yeah.
Nice.
appreciate
Mike is
that,
on the
Kevin.
ball tonight, guys. Like
Yeah,
when the intro ended,
Mike
he was there.
Mike
Like
is on the ball, and I'm over here starting the show talking about scumbags.
Zod's over there stirring things up. Wait, I heard
Yeah, you're definitely a scumbag if you're out there buying subscribers.
Yeah, it looks like Stock Jock.
Yeah, he threw
Wow.
it in
Super
there too.
chat.
Stock Truck, thank you
It
so
worked.
much.
It worked.
I do have another one. Hold on.
yeah!
Gotta give
Man,
us.
those are good.
Guys, I gotta give a special shout out to Sox Bulletins, who's in the chat.
I saw that.
You
Yeah,
know,
is that
he's
one
a
of your
long-
buddies?
He's a long time, collaborator of mine. He collaborates with me and he collaborates with Bad Dan. We do a show together where we talk about the X-Men animated series. We're working our way from the very beginning, the first season, all the way up to the current great X-Men 97. So it's just great to have Sox in the chat.
Since
I
you're
wanna
on
give a
Marvel,
special
Zod,
shout out.
since you're on Marvel, give us your favorite X-Men. If you could pick one X-Men out of any of them.
That's a good question. That's actually tough, but it's not as tough as you think. My favorite X-Men, for obvious reasons, is none other than Rogue. And people who know me know why Rogue is my favorite X-Men. She is absolutely gorgeous.
Mhm.
And we'll
Okay.
just
I mean,
leave
I
it-
thought
we'll
that's
just
what
fair
you were
enough.
going to
We'll
say.
just
But
leave it like that.
Fair enough.
I've actually got a Rogue statue coming that I ordered that I can't wait to put on the shelf
Really?
because it actually has her with all of her assets intact.
I don't think there's a
Nice.
bad answer to
It wasn't
any
Disney-fied, you
X-Men.
mean?
Who's your
You're,
favorite?
you're right, Kevin.
No.
Sorry, I got to address it real quick. Yeah, Kevin threw $2 super chats. Yes, you're supposed to say this isn't necessary.
Right. You gotta be like Michael B and act like you're humble, even though you're not. You gotta
Thank
be
you.
like,
Thank
oh,
you.
Oh God,
This is
not
turning
necessary.
in
Oh,
to a super chat stream, by the way. I mean, it's
But I
Wow.
will say thank you, guys.
Can we call
Really,
this-
I mean,
can we call this?
there's you don't have to do
Can we
this.
call this pinball money for Mike? Pinball money. Pinball money.
We'll let Ace Ventura tell it.
Spank you, Greenwald. Spank you very much.
Well, Jay said before it's like Jerry's kids telethon.
Too bad we don't got a Jerry clip. I gotta ask you guys something.
Thank
It's
you,
a
Stock
little,
Jock.
It's a little off topic, but I really gotta ask you. And please, just bear with me when I ask you this. Do you guys remember back in the mid 80s,
Hey,
early
what's up, Dave?
90s, Ed McMahon going door to door with big checks from a company called Publishers Clearinghouse, giving people $1 million checks?
I know where
You
you're
guys
going with
remember
this.
this?
Yes, I remember.
I know of it.
but
Yeah.
Now, hear me out here, guys, because honestly, I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember going to my grandmother's house. I remember my grandmother having the envelopes with Ed McMahon's picture on the envelopes.
Elio.
And I remember it saying specifically Publishers Clearinghouse and even having that little Publishers Clearinghouse logo on the envelope. Now,
Yep,
the reason I bring this up
I know
is
why.
because I was just out of nostalgia, since this is nostalgia power. I went on thing and I was looking up one of the commercials, and I wanted to watch one of the ads where Ed McMahon delivers $1 million check. And what did I find out, ladies and gentlemen?
He
Lo
never
and
did.
behold, Ed McMahon never worked for Publishers Clearinghouse. This never happened. It's a false memory.
So nobody ever won any of that?
No, it's a Mandela effect that everyone
It's a
thinks that.
Mandela effect that we all remember.
Think that people
But
won.
they went to the
No,
door.
that
like it
Ed
was-
McMahon
the Super Bowl was going on.
presented
They
Ed
physically
McMahon
went-
had no part of it.
He had no part of it. No.
Right.
Well, he was
Ed
on the
McMahon-
envelope, though.
Ed McMahon was not associated with the
No,
company,
not at all.
even though his face was on the godforsaken envelope. Okay, so
Right.
here's the
I
thing.
remember.
Here's the thing. It apparently it's definitely like Jesse pointed out, it's a Mandela effect. But here's the thing: there's this thing out there called Mandela Effect residuals, in which you can find stuff that kind of leaves, like breadcrumbs of proof that it actually happened. So I did some research and I found a Mandela Effect residual for the Ed McMahon Publishers Clearinghouse thing. And this is that what happened was Johnny Carson, who was a frequent collaborator with Ed McMahon, Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon were together back in the day, right? You remember Jesse, right?
Yeah.
Well, Johnny Carson went.
Stay
Johnny Carson was on David Letterman. He was on David
What's up,
Letterman,
Hot Rangus?
and he came to David Letterman with a big check for $1 million from Publishers Clearinghouse, courtesy of Ed McMahon, and he gave it to David Letterman. That's considered a residual because everybody knew that Ed McMahon worked for Publishers Clearinghouse, and we were bombarded back in the late 80s, early 90s with commercials of him,
Yeah.
$1 million checks to people's houses. Investigating further, I found out that not only did Ed McMahon deny that he ever worked for that company, but apparently he really worked for a competitor of Publishers Clearinghouse and claims to have delivered checks for the competitor, but everybody thought that it was Publishers Clearinghouse because Publishers Clearinghouse was famous for doing the same thing, and Publishers Clearinghouse never made it clear that Ed McMahon didn't work for them.
He did in the multiverse. That's what it was.
But yeah. But apparently, Jesse, we're all remembering wrong. We're all idiots. I called my mother up. I was so upset about this, and I said, "Mom,
say it ain't so.
Please tell me you remember this." And my mother was like this. First of all, I remember, and you're right. It's true. Ed McMahon did deliver checks for Publishers Clearinghouse. But secondly, I have to ask you, why are you so upset about this? Why does it matter? Because they're trying to change our memories. They're trying to rewrite history. That's why it matters. Okay? You can't erase something that happened. If we remember it happened, it happened. And, I'm not going to sit there and believe that all of my memories are false memories.
Yeah, we can't all be wrong, right?
Yeah.
I can believe mine are.
So I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to derail the show or anything. I just wanted to bring up that thing because it's been on my mind. So, yeah.
There you go.
What do you?
Yeah. Why are you so upset?
Okay.
So in case anybody, was wondering about that, at least the people were getting paid. That's where I thought you were going with this. That the whole thing was a big.
No, there was somebody that commented in that YouTube video, in that Johnny Carson residual video I told you about. Mm-hmm. Somebody actually commented in there, "Hey, my aunt won the $1 million." And Ed McMahon did actually come to the house with a check and everything. He's like, we got pictures from when Ed McMahon came. So it's real. It happened. They're just trying to cover it up. So for whatever reason. So
don't know.
See, Jesse, I knew I wasn't crazy, Jesse.
No. Well,
that's the thing, man.
I watched the whole thing on that with the Berenstain Bears and all that. That
was another one.
There's a movie out about it. There's actually a movie called The Mandela Effect that tells that whole story, and the guy learns that it's all that reality can be manipulated by this quantum computer, and they brought up like CERN and all this stuff, and some sort of particle thing that scientists are experimenting with that's actually changing parts of reality and things. It's
creating what do you call those holes that you morph through and stuff like that?
Black holes, wormholes, and that's
they have the particle accelerator.
Yeah.
And they've been recreating the Big Bang inside this thing.
And all they're basically doing is creating alternate realities. Mm-hmm. So you're creating all of these other realities, and what's happening is they're intersecting on top of each other. So this is why you're having certain things that we remember being overwritten. Like there's a whole movie that Sinbad did back in the day. He was a genie. Everybody remembers the movie, but apparently the movie doesn't exist. It never happened. So yeah. I think X-Men. I think Ed McMahon's favorite X-Men, I think, was Beast. I think, if I remember correctly.
Take me back to the 80s. I'm done with this time already. Life was better back. I mean, yeah, you're not going to hear any of us argue with that.
No, I
Socks.
agree. I've said that so many times.
Socks, you're in the right place, my friend.
Yep.
Yeah.
And speaking,
The 80s.
okay, speaking of the 80s. So remember we talked this past Saturday that I never knew that Michael Jackson's Moonwalker was a thing. I hate keep bringing that up, but so this week, okay, here we go. We got the Sega Genesis copy in box, and not only that,
Wow,
but
look at you.
nice.
we got the VHS tape too.
Now, where'd you get that? Where'd you get the VHS from?
You're so.
I found it on eBay.
That's
Nice.
dedicated. That's dedicated.
Not that I mean, the movie is absolutely ridiculous, and so is the game. But
Did you make it past the tarantulas like on the ground? Did you see that part?
oh yeah, I watched.
I
the
don't
whole
think I
thing.
made it past. I don't think I made it past.
I
that
had
scene.
to.
I think that
I mean, I
was fun.
sat
Mike
through the
Worley.
holiday special.
Awesome, man. You are awesome. That is great stuff. I mean, now, how do you feel about the arcade game in comparison? Do you play the arcade game on your multicade? And
I've never actually played the arcade version yet. That's next on my.
I didn't either. Would you believe it? I passed it a million times when I was a kid, but I never played it.
I played it in a Chuck E. Cheese once when I was. They had it in a Chuck E. Cheese, the
Did they? Yeah.
Moonwalker arcade, and I just remember it being a bizarre experience.
Well, Chuck E. Cheese is a bizarre
Well,
experience
yeah.
to begin with.
Yeah, with the animatronic animals.
Yeah.
And stuff. It's very Five Nights at Freddy-esque
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
But I mean, I got that. It's in perfect condition at VHS tape. It was like $12. I'm like, I had to buy it. And again, I'll probably never watch the movie again for the rest of my life because it's not worth sitting down and unless we have like a nostalgia power watch party. But I do have a pretty sizable collection of VHS tapes also, and I was like, that would be perfect to go on that shelf of like of 80s lore. What's up, C North?
MG.
What's up, MG?
That's great. Welcome, MG.
Yeah, welcome to Thursday night, which is the new Saturday morning.
Being late, I got stuck enjoying the last few moments of not being here.
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese. I love Chuck E. Cheese, and we took the kid there like last year, and the first time I probably stepped foot into Chuck E. Cheese, and God, I don't even know.
How are the games? That's the question.
Garbage.
Oh,
It's all
are they all like raw thrills and claw machines? And
Yep, exactly. And games that your main objective is to win tickets only. That's it.
Mike, speaking of games, and how we did that one episode in Nostalgia Power where I talked for over an hour about the virtual arcades. That game that you were talking about, that Arcade Paradise VR game where you're running a laundromat and you turn it into an arcade and you're able to have all these arcades and stuff. That is coming out on VR at the end of April, and it looks awesome. And
Really?
you'll be able to buy that. You'll be able to buy that through Oculus, and it's fantastic.
So that's out. It's out this month. Yeah, it looked pretty cool. I mean, it was worth a shot.
April 25th. So it's coming, man.
Soon, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
You don't remember eating sugary cereal on a Thursday evening? Come on, I used to eat cereal all the time. Before I went. That was my
MG.
That was my snack.
You know what I do sometimes, MG? I'll get myself some honeycombs. And I'll pop open a can of beer, and I'll sit there and eat my cut of honeycombs and drink my beer before bed, bro.
So dry cereal and beer.
I would say I hope it's dry. Hopefully you're not drinking that cereal milk and then slamming a beer too.
No, dry cereal and then slamming your beer like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
So honeycomb and beer.
It's all good, bro.
Where is
the
this show
late
going?
night snack of champions.
Hey Jesse, at least we're not talking about butt plugs this week, bro.
Oh God, yeah, or chocolate, chocolate ones, yeah.
We don't want to get AI Tom all pissed off at us again.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. He was actually pretty tame the last time he visited us.
I used leftover lines, Andy. Yes, you got it right, bro. Lines of sugar, by the way, not lines of cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I do drink Coke, but not that kind of Coke.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still put cocaine in Coca-Cola. Do they? I know they did back in the early days. I don't know if
Yeah. Supposedly.
Yeah.
maybe Jesse could explain, why I'm so wired when we do these shows. I don't know.
Is it Coca-Cola? That's what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, me
it's
too.
Coca-Cola.
I'm addicted to that stuff.
Yeah, it's Coca-Cola, bro. Jesse and I going out on a tear. Well, why are we so wired? Well, it's Coca-Cola. Nothing wrong with that.
But you made your own sugary cereal. You never bought Frosted Flakes or anything. Rice Krispies with about half a cup of sugar.
Phil, are you
Yeah.
sad about the?
I did that too.
About the
Oh, yeah.
pending demise of Arcade 1-Up. Is that why
Cool.
you're so
Cocaine is a
quiet?
hell of a drug.
No. I'm not worried about Arcade 1-Up.
Cocaine, yeah. Well, no, I mean you've been busy. I mean, maybe is Dragon's Lair on your mind, bro?
It's right behind me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it on your mind,
What's up, Ralphie? Good evening, buddy.
Ralphie?
Hey, Ralphie.
Hey, Ralph.
Yeah, Marv. So did you any of you watch the new X-Men yet? I didn't see this week's
still have
X-Men.
not seen it yet.
97 is
Have you
great.
seen any of them, Phil?
97
No, I'm
is
surprised
great,
you haven't
Phil.
seen any.
And Phil, this most recent episode, being the big Arcade fan that you are gonna love this episode when you see it.
Nice.
It is.
No, I didn't catch the new one yet.
Homage to. I will give a spoiler. It is an homage to the X-Men arcade game.
Really?
Literally.
Ooh. So I'm guessing that
Kitty Pryde, maybe.
Kitty Pryde. I
or-
couldn't remember her first name. Kitty Pryde. Yes.
No spoilers. So
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything, but
Sock saw the new episode.
but you will enjoy it.
Yeah, I meant to catch it yesterday and didn't. I just forgot.
Well, how you been liking?
So
it
this weekend,
far, Mike? How you been
Oh,
liking
it's been fantastic. I
it?
think.
I mean, aren't you like me, where you're nervous right now that the other shoe's going to drop and it's somehow going to turn bad?
Kind of.
Because as of right now, it is literally the greatest thing that Disney Plus has ever put out.
Yeah,
my
probably.
In my opinion, there's nothing better.
Yeah, maybe like the first season of Mandalorian kind of comes close, but
Yeah, I don't know though, but because this matches up with X-Men so well.
it does, right? And honestly, it seems like a continuation of the original series, which
Organic.
obviously it's meant to do, but your expectations were only so high going in.
They did it right, and dude, they do it right every week with the previously on X-Men. I mean, if they don't have the previously on X-Men, that would have been the epic fail. But
so they have it.
They've got it, and it's every episode previously on X-Men.
Right.
Wonderful show.
Hey, Chaotic.
What's up, Chaotic?
Chaotic.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it and you're a fan of the original X-Men series,
I haven't heard anyone say anything bad about it yet.
Nobody
cares.
cares.
Negative as it got prior to the show being released, it's done great. Like firing the producer, having X-Men 97 come out earlier, the arcade versus the show. Like everything seems to be doing good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That X-Men 97 skinned arcade seems very, very appealing now because the show is so good, Phil. That's the thing. The show is great. And the show has to be great to sell those cabinets. Arcade 1-Up needs the sales.
That's good news.
They only did the previously on X-Men for the multi-part episodes. Oh, I thought they did it on every
No, they do it on every episode, Hot Rangus. I'm rewatching the series now through Disney Plus for the show that me, Socks, and Batman do, which is the X-Men review show, where we're reviewing all the episodes going to 97, and every single episode so far has had previously on X-Men. Every episode.
Yeah, I agree, Kevin. I mean, they did it's about as good as you could do.
Yeah.
What if X-Men 20 will talk about code? Well, I mean, they'll all be old by then.
And I like the fact that they're exploring. Since we're talking about Marvel, I like the fact that they're doing they're doing all of these different homages to the various writers of of X-Men comics throughout the decades. I mean, you're literally getting some of the greatest inspiration for some of the greatest X-Men storylines of all time, and it's continuing through X-Men 97 in a beautiful way.
Phil, did you see Jay's comment?
No.
He asks, "Do you sleep with your Magneto?"
Oh,
helmet
you know
on?"
what?
I
So
missed that.
So I answered it when I did see the question a couple of days ago. Mike, what happened to the original comments? They just kind of disappeared. Jay, it was yes and yes. So I do. I think it was, do you wear it to
Oh
work?
yeah.
And
From
do you
before.
sleep?
I don't know.
It?
Yeah, I answered. I answered them too. I think our answers were the same. I was just speculating, of course, but I was just figuring what I would do if I were you. And yes, I would absolutely sleep with
It's a
it
little
on.
uncomfortable, but
But nobody could probe your brain if you're wearing that, right? Isn't that the whole point of it?
right. We don't want our brains scrambled by
Yeah.
Charles Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well,
man.
when the aliens come,
Sorry,
Phil,
Jay.
I want to
should
make
answer.
sure that you're wearing your Magneto helmet and you save humanity, because
The master of magnets.
the master of magnetism.
When is the eclipse? Is that this coming week? If it is, I don't know. Phil, you need to go outside with that helmet on and just like stare up at the.
Isn't the eclipse supposed to be the end of everything as we know it? Isn't that when the big change is going to happen?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't hear that.
I don't know.
That's very doom and gloomy. Then, if this coming eclipse here in the next week or two is supposed to be the end of the world. No,
No, not at all. Nothing but love for X-Men 90.
Yeah, they're doing it right so far.
Yeah.
That's good because we were all excited about it.
Mhm. That's why I think we were all so worried too. When that, you're that excited and hyped about something,
One of the best cartoon
doesn't
series
live
of
up.
all time.
Yeah, right.
Going back to the Batman animated series, X-Men 92.
Another was a good one. It was the Spider-Man series from that same time.
Well, they're actually talking about bringing that Spider-Man series back, doing Spider-Man 98.
Remember when they did like the 3D part of it?
Because
Yeah,
because X-Men 97 is doing so well.
They should. That was a great show.
Yeah, that would be good.
They used to cross over with that X-Men series on occasion.
I will admit, I didn't think that the Spider-Man series was anywhere near as good as X-Men.
You know what I like?
No. It was still
about
really
the Spider-Man was he was an established adult. He wasn't a teenager.
Yes.
Right. That's what I want from Spider-Man. I want him to be
don't be some like nerdy, whiny kid. Yeah. Just be a grown-ass man and be Spider-Man.
It's like when Dick Grayson turns into Nightwing. That's the age of Spider-Man. Perfect.
Oh, Stan Lee was in the final episode. Spider-Man and his lame friends.
Yeah, Spider-Man and his lame friends who buy subs on YouTube. What are you gonna do? That's what I'd love to see. I'd love to see a modern take on Spider-Man where all Spider-Man's friends are YouTubers.
I want to see a remake of Terminator 2 where I'm telling you, T1000 is looking for the last arcade one-up cap. I think that'd be a good one. Like when T2 sells out, like we can do the mystery encoder, or we could do the retro, the buy stuff retro shooters. There's none left, and that's
one of
that's
these
the
days
movie.
after the apocalypse, Phil is going to be looking for one-ups. He's going to walk into this apocalyptic landfill,
and it's going to be Synergy.
And he's going to see fully assembled XL versions of Pac-Man all lined up. That's the only cab that's going to survive the apocalypse. All the rest of them are gone.
Well, there's so many Pac-Man that it probably.
Hey, what's up, Gallagher?
That's what I mean. That's what's going to happen. Pac-Man is the market smasher. Period.
And at least it's an XL.
Yeah.
Guys, we rambled on for about a half an hour. You want to cut to a quick commercial? We'll come back and we'll see how smart everybody is with some Marvel. Hey, it's right around that time. It's time to pay the bills, right? As they say. So we'll be back in a couple minutes, guys.
2 and 2.
After the method, we'll be right back.
I wanted to see if I was as strong as you.
Spider-Man has met his perfect match.
Who are you?
Just a stray black cat.
But is his feline foe or friend?
There's one last thing I have to tell you.
The secret of the Black Cat on an all-new Spider-Man Saturday after Beetleborgs on Fox Kids.
Next Saturday brings you an hour of X-Men excitement.
The Earth has gone mad.
With the thrilling conclusion of the Phoenix Saga.
Soon the universe will tremble.
It's the final showdown.
I got a real bad feeling.
To save the galaxy.
That's at what cost?
Don't miss this hour-long X-Men event next Saturday morning on Fox Kids.
My spider sense.
Good, honey.
Spider-Man. Whoa. Spider-Man cereal. Cool.
New Spider-Man cereal. It's the action-packed part of your balanced breakfast. Sweet, crunchy webs crawling with marshmallows like Hot Goblin's Pumpkin Bomb and the Kingpin. It's an adventure in every bowl.
Get something?
No.
Spider-Man cereal, swinging into a store near you. Now there's a free exclusive Fleer Ultra Spider-Man card in specially marked boxes of Spider-Man cereal.
Wow. These guys finally realized that nostalgia power early in the morning is literal insanity. So now it's prime time. Hopefully now the bad guy Mike Worley can get some halfway decent views on the stream. Jester Tester, Zod Rider, and PD7 might even show a little enthusiasm instead of just phoning it in this time, maybe. Who the hell freaking knows? Whatever. Please like, share, and subscribe. There is no way on God's green earth I'm coming back here next week.
Back to the show.
Good riddance to him then.
Oh, Uncle Tom finally has had enough of us.
Yeah, goodbye, a-hole, Uncle Tom. That was his
He's
final
had enough
thought.
of us.
He's out.
The Kingpin marshmallows in the Spider-Man.
Yeah, did anybody ever eat Spider-Man cereal?
I
don't know
got
why
it
I
once.
don't remember. I don't
It's
remember
like
that.
Chex with marshmallows.
That's kind of what a lot of
It was
those
as
were.
elusive. It was as elusive back then as Ecto Cooler is now. Even though Ecto Cooler's been re-released, you can't buy it. You still can't buy it anywhere.
I know.
It's like, what's going on? Did any of you guys see it in the grocery store since?
No, and I looked. I
'Cause
looked.
I did too. I looked. I was gonna do a video.
I wanted to get it. Me too.
I was gonna do a walk and talk. I figured since everybody and their mom was doing one now, I figured, hey, I might as well do one too. But I would have been really, really like evil about it. I mean, I would have walked in and just been like, look, guys, I'm not trying to do something, to copy Phil here, but this is Ecto Cooler, and we need to talk about this.
Ecto Cooler.
This is kind of a big deal.
Because Ecto Cooler is nectar of the gods. I mean, we literally cannot get this. That's what it is, man. Who's buying it? My God, seeing it for $600.
Has anyone in the
eBay,
chat
I'm like, what's
found the
going on
Ecto
here?
Cooler at the grocery store?
We've got
Walmart
a couple
had it too,
people
right?
that have had the Spider-Man cereal.
Okay,
I don't remember doing it. I mean, that would have been right around the time where I probably would have been able to get my hands on some, but I don't recall.
Batman was like Spider-Man. Was like Captain Crunch. Spider-Man
Yes.
cereal was Chex with marshmallows. and
Right.
Kingpin marshmallow.
Yeah.
So it was like
I can verify the Batman because I have a box of Batman cereal.
Yeah, that
still.
will just rip up the roof of your mouth. No doubt.
Mhm.
It sounds like it was
Just like eating glass.
It sounds like it was generic as hell. You were better off eating either. Cookie
Here's the
Crisp
question of
or-
the night. Who
Those
made the Batman
Snoop
cereal? Mike,
Loops.
you can't answer this.
I do know that.
Who manufactured?
It was the same company that made that Spider-Man cereal.
And it's the same company that made the Smurf cereal.
Yeah.
And I
Was it the
believe
same
Donkey
company-
Kong.
wasn't it the same company that made
Urkelos.
Wasn't the same company that made C-3POs?
I believe so. They made all of them.
C3. Oh, I can't remember who made C3 pills.
It was not Alfred. I mean, he did make Batman cereal. Okay,
It was
yeah.
Professor Xavier.
He
you
prepared
idiot.
Batman cereal.
No,
No,
not
it wasn't-
Kellogg's, not Post.
Wasn't those?
No.
But you're getting closer. Oh,
There he
Biggie
is.
D.
There he is.
Nice.
Ralston. There you go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they made all those goofy cereal tie-ins that were out there.
You know, but I,
Purina.
Yeah, well, Ralston was a branch of Purina, I believe.
Now, doesn't that alarm you in some way, Mike? Though, when you say those words
Oh,
out
yeah.
loud, doesn't that kind of make you think?
That,
what are
we ate
what are
cat
we
food for
eating?
breakfast.
Yeah, there might have been
What
some
are we
cat food
eating?
mixed in there, but who
Well,
cares?
we
As
know
long as
we're
there was
eating-
marshmallows.
We know we're eating
And Kingpin
we're eating
marshmallows.
cat
Yeah,
food when we go
I
to
mean,
Taco Bell.
if there was some cat food
Oh,
in
no
there
doubt
with some
about it.
Kingpin
What was
marshmallows.
Kingpin's real name? Here's a good.
Fisk.
Ooh,
Fisk,
what was the first
you
name?
said?
It was something Fisk.
Wilson
Carlton-
Fisk.
Wilson
Yeah,
Fisk.
Carlton Fisk was.
Was he the
Carlton
catcher
Fisk
for the
was-
White Sox?
Carlton
Yeah.
Fisk was the catcher
That's
for the
exactly what I was
White
thinking too. Yeah, I was like Carlton Fisk. I'm like, wait a minute, why does that sound right? I'm like, oh, that's
You could just see Frank
Yeah.
Castle going, Wilson Fisk.
Wilson. Yep. Oh, everybody's they're on it.
I got a cousin. I got a cousin who's good friend, who's actually good friends with Carlton Fisk, and she,
Really?
she remember, she talked
Wilson Phillips.
about- he was her favorite. He was her favorite baseball player. So yeah,
Nice.
but yeah, no, it's not Carlton Fisk. Yeah, Wilson Fisk. Wilson Phillips made that. Wilson Phillips made that song that was ad nauseum popular in the 90s. Hold on for one more day.
Oh yeah, she was real big for about
Yeah,
5 minutes
the
or so.
problem with
but-
Count Chocula, Biggie, is it tears
5
up your
minutes.
mouth too. Like, man, Stock Jack sent us all Count Chocula, Frankenberry,
and Booberry.
I used to
There
love
was
Fruity
that-
Pebbles.
there was
Yeah.
an
Oh
apple
yeah,
Yeah,
Fruity
I did.
Pebbles was good.
Our mouths were
Oh,
just
that's
And
right. I
Cocoa Pebbles,
forgot.
too.
That
also.
the apple one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always like Count Chocula.
Count Chocula is my favorite, but
But
it's
yeah, right, Phil. You got to let it soak for like a minute or two.
gotta get soggy.
Yeah, or else your mouth is gonna start bleeding.
Get soggy, guys. Get soggy.
All right. Well, here's a good question for the hardcore people. In the Deadpool movie, there was only a few X-Men in it. One was Colossus. What was the name of the one girl that was in
Come
it
on.
with the shaved head?
You're talking about the movie?
Yeah, Deadpool
yeah.
movie.
Who's the girl?
Who was the girl?
And
They
she was in
always
both.
bickered back and forth with Deadpool. She had a very odd name.
I bet Sox knows this one. Who was it, Sox?
Oh yeah, Hot Rangus. is-
Gallagher guy 88. You got to see the. You got to see the.
You know,
You got to
I
see the
think-
direct. You got to see the direct.
You guys are close.
I kind of
There it
enjoyed
is,
that.
Kevin.
There you go.
Now
Yeah.
this is a
Did you
question
look
that
it up, Kevin, or did
I'm,
you?
I'm legitimately asking: was she created for that movie only? Like, I don't recall that character ever being in anything. Does anybody know that?
Teenage Warhead. I think.
Yeah,
she-
Negasonic.
she
It was
was-
Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Yep, Super Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
There you go.
Sounds like something that Rod Reynolds would definitely have came up with.
Well, since you're staying with Deadpool, he was on X-Force, right?
Yeah.
And then there's X-Men. What's in between? It was X-Men, there was something else, and then there's X-Force. What's the other X?
I know this one. I think.
No, Kevin knew it. Kevin said I actually knew it. Like he remembered that. That's pretty good. Ooh, Andy's game room, X Factor,
X Factor comics.
Saiyan
were
Spirits.
Saying
Got X Factor.
good. X Factor comics were good. back in the
Xmas. No. Yeah, X Factor. I actually think I had a
Xmas,
couple.
That'd be a good one. That'd be a good comic.
Ex-girlfriend.
I wonder if they still do X Factor like that. Ooh, Alpha Flight. You're right. It's another one. They actually had an Alpha Flight comic line. You know, if I went through all the comics that I had, like you just pull up things that you forgot all about.
Electric Undertow. You remember Electric Undertow, Phil, from Marvel?
No.
Oh, I don't know that either.
I was looking at a list of some of the original Marvel characters. Like, you're not going to believe this. The Human Torch was in the first Marvel comic. Like, it's weird because
Really?
they don't mention any of the other Fantastic Four. And we're going, like, the Submariner was created in 1939. The Human Torch was 39.
Wow.
I thought it was Captain America. Captain America was 1940. And then you jump to 1960. It's when Groot was created. He was created before Spider-Man.
I just want to
Never would have guessed that in a million
I
years.
wouldn't
I
either.
just want to satisfy your curiosity, Mike Worley, and answer your earlier question. Teenage Warhead is a superheroine appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics, created by Grant Morrison. The character first appeared in New X-Men 115, and she was later adapted for the Deadpool movie.
So when did the new X-Men series run? I'm assuming that's a fairly recent comic then, if she was brought in.
Her first appearance was New X-Men 115 from August of 2001.
Oh, wow. That's a lot older than I would have guessed. Yeah,
Okay,
Excalibur.
yeah, and Sox has got you covered here on Human Torch. Sox is like a Marvel guru, so
Oh,
Right, it's not Johnny Storm. Correct.
It's an android.
yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
interesting.
that's what-
Like you're going in. I mean, think about 1939 for a second. That's Batman and Superman. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, just
Right. Superman was 1938.
38.
Wow. Yeah, I would have never guessed that. Flintstone vitamins. I don't know if I ever ate a handful of them.
Those Flintstone vitamins commercials used to make me cry as a kid. Like I just used to get so emotional when I would see those commercials. That little piano riff, like used to be so sad.
Is that what is 10 million strong and growing?
Yeah, it used to be so sad.
My
like,
God, that just unlocked a part of my brain.
Wow.
I haven't heard that little jingle in forever.
like Ed McMahon and Publishers Clearinghouse.
It was a treat to get Flintstone. Like you usually
It
get
was.
the knockoffs. I mean, to actually get the brand Flintstone vitamins. Like,
Dude,
what
I
are the-
buy them for my kid now. And
did
he
you have the
wants them.
Did you have the Superman peanut butter? Did you ever try that?
No,
Oh my God,
I didn't know there
forgot
was a
that
Superman
existed,
peanut
Phil,
butter.
but I do remember seeing it
Yeah.
at least once.
It's like
as a kid.
once
I
or
think-
twice.
I think my aunt bought it once or twice.
I miss, when you go to like Target in the grocery store, you see the
My
animal
uncle used to
crackers.
tell me that he had Superman toilet paper, but he would never let me see it.
Agreed, Toxin.
Remember-
No, I
remember the
remember
little
Peter
animal crackers you
Pan
could
peanut
get?
butter.
Oh God.
You'd have the Justice League animal crackers. Like I missed that as a kid. Like the little box. So who makes the animal crackers? What's the Barnes? I think we gotta have to look it up. But they made like the Super Friends back then. 8675309.
I was just responding to that. Now it's going to be stuck in everyone's head.
Yeah.
Goober grape.
I don't know if it's Stoffers.
Stouffer's? Did Stouffer's make vitamins? I don't know. I know they make frozen lasagna.
Yeah, and like chicken and stuff.
Chicken and stuff.
Maybe they dabble into the vitamin market. Who knows?
Jesse,
All right, so
were you
here.
one of those guys that like lived on like Hot Pockets back in your teenage years when you were going out chasing after chicks?
No, I was I was a crazy fast food addict. That's all I ever ate.
Cool. So what
Yeah.
was your fast food go-to, man? What was the thing?
Roy Rogers.
Okay.
Barnum's Animals. Like
Oh,
it was
God.
in Nabisco. I can't let this go. It was in Nabisco. I'm in my own world over here.
He's like, I got it, guys.
8675309.
Yeah, this is late night nostalgia power. Maybe we can slip one of them 900 number ads in the back end of the commercial break.
Wasn't there a story about the 8675309 that everybody was calling that number
Yeah.
in their area and everything? Everyone who had it.
The people who had it were so ticked off.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
They were like Jesse at Cole's level pissed.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep. Can you imagine having that number and every time you picked up the phone, someone started singing that song?
Jenny, I got your
Is
number.
that you?
Not again with this shit.
Some old man trying to go to sleep. He's got to get up early. He's got a job to go to. He's like 78 years old and still working. It's 1986. He's like, what is going on here? Like Archie Bunker.
Yeah, right.
Coming home beating his wife every time the phone rings. Like, what's going on, dude?
MG had a similar number to Empire Carpets. That's another one.
300.
Oh yeah, I couldn't think of that one off the top of my head. Yeah, now that you said it.
I don't even have to think about it. Yeah, 588-2300.
Or 988, yeah. 2300 MG.
It was 588, not 9.
Was it?
988.
It was 900. Oh yeah, or like $4 per minute.
Per minute, yeah. Or those party lines.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring it up. Yeah,
God,
party
that's
line.
right?
Like,
The
Jesse,
party line.
Jesse, did you ever meet a woman off of a party line?
I did. Yes.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So they were actually real then. There wasn't just some.
Was she a ghost?
BS.
Was she what?
A ghost?
What? No. At least I don't think so.
You know why I asked you that, right? Because all the haunted stories you got.
Yeah, now she wasn't.
Or a rose bush. I mean, he actually met a girl in a rose bush before,
running from the cops.
Going down a hill.
Down a hill, right?
Like in the new Ghostbusters movie where she's playing chess with the ghost chick.
Yeah, it was big in my area there, and then there was a park that we all went to and hung out. So everybody in the neighborhood went to this same park. It was like so when we spoke to one another on that chat line, you'd say you want to go down to the park. There was like a wall. Everybody sat on the wall. It was one of those stupid things.
All right, guys. Who's the first person ever to be born with a mutant gene? Believed.
Ooh, that's a good one. Socks. School these people.
First person, mutant, whatever, believed to have had the gene. Good saying, spirits.
Man.
That's it. Yep. Kevin. Yep. The guys are knowing it. I actually didn't know. I assumed it would have been like Professor X or
I was going to say
like
Xavier, but usually when saying spirits and Kevin,
yeah, then you figure like Apocalypse. That kind of makes sense. He was what, like 1,000 years old or whatever.
But Sox
is Magneto's number. Am I right on that, guys?
He says, "I'll say Namor, but it's been retconned." See, Sox is going way back. The first mutant gene, Namor, the Submariner. But it got.
But again, like Phil, what did you say about Scarlet Witch?
I just saw Biggie D's comment. He put Scarlet Witch.
Yeah,
wasn't Scarlet Witch Magneto's daughter?
I don't know, but Quicksilver is his son, right?
Well, they're brother and sister in
Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are
brother and sister in the Age of Ultron. So I mean, their dad's Magneto.
Wait, they killed Apocalypse in X-Men season 4? Did they really? I wasn't aware that they actually like defeated Apocalypse, but again, it's been so long since I've seen all those episodes. Odd, you guys probably aren't up to season 4 yet. I'm assuming, right?
They didn't do anything right in the movies.
Season 2.
Oh, okay.
And it's just exciting.
Except Hugh Jackman.
Rewatching those episodes, man.
The Apocalypse had to rejuvenate every 1,000 years. Yeah, he was one of my favorite bad guys too, and I didn't even see the movie because I didn't like the way they portrayed Apocalypse.
I'm like, how the hell do you get that? How the hell do you get Oscar Isaac to play Apocalypse? It's like, how does that even make sense?
Guys, Kelsey Grammer was the beast. I mean,
yeah, he looked good too.
That's true. Yeah,
Kelsey Grammer was the only like spot on perfect casting.
But he just didn't have the look though of the Beast.
He had the voice though.
He was only in it. He was only in it for like a couple of minutes though, right?
Well, I don't know, that last one, he was like, he puts this vest on and he's just it was over the top.
Oh, what was the video game that Thor got addicted to in Avengers Endgame? Do you remember?
Well, that's a good question.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I haven't seen Endgame since it was in theaters. So I don't remember.
See if the chat knows that one.
Was it Injustice? remember in like the Superman and Lois TV show, Superman's son is playing Injustice on it's just so like meta.
The Adventures of Lois and Superman, or Superman
Wasn't
and Lois?
either Call of Duty or Tetris.
Nope.
Was definitely not GTA 5. Now, that would be pretty funny. Did they say the game's name?
Sox got it.
Fortnite.
Yeah.
See, Sox knows. He's just like.
I like Lois and Clark too, but I don't like the Lex Luthor they used in the 90s. That was just weird.
I remember watching that show.
That guy, what was his name? I think his last name was like Shay. He was just a goofball.
Laser suit.
I think a great Lex Luthor. I know we're changing sides here, but is the guy from Titanic, Billy Zane. I think he'd be a good Lex.
He'd be good. He would be good. I agree 100%.
No, honestly, I'm more of a DC guy than I am Marvel. Not gonna lie. I'm Batman.
I would have said
Superman
that a couple
of
years ago. But I mean, I like them both. Honestly, I
don't dislike one.
I mean, Superman
or the other, but
is my all-time. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I got a Superman tattoo on my arm. Like, there's no doubt about Superman. But I love Marvel too.
I mean, I may or may not be a Batman fan. I mean, that's to be determined. But
yeah, I was heavily into Spider-Man at the beginning, but then I moved over to Batman. I don't know why. I took to him more than. But when I was a kid, I was a big Spider-Man fan.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, saying spirits. I'm excited. I'm excited for it to flop on levels that we've never seen before. I want it to be the biggest flop in cinematic history.
Yeah, it was the bomb and Phantom, yo.
That's the comment of the night right there.
Yeah,
is there a way to pin that?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to go into.
I don't know how this stuff works.
You go over to YouTube and you click pin comment.
I sound like Batman. I'm Batman. Now I sound like Batman because I'm sick and my voice is all screwed up. There we go. Pin message. Affleck was the bomb and Phantom. Bonus points to anybody who knows where that quote is from. What movie that's from. One of my favorite stoner movies growing up.
Kevin Clausen, I'm with you 100%, my friend.
No, I love Man of Steel too. Yeah.
You know, Biggie, that's promising. If they could
Punisher's
do that
coming
on
back.
TV, maybe we could get that in a video game again.
Well, we're getting, yeah, because this new Daredevil series, Daredevil Born Again, is going to bring us Daredevil and Punisher together. Yeah, that's going to be cool.
There you go, Saw. Yep, Jay and
Punisher
Silent Bob
actually
Strikes
has a
Back.
skull, so that's a good thing.
No, that was good me as the official logo. So one thing I didn't like about well, I mean, it's hard to do these live action, but he gets his outfit at the very, very end of that season 1. He wore black the entire season 1 of Daredevil, and then he gets the new suit. Like, they always do that stuff to us.
Maybe Cyrus will release a Punisher rehash now.
I've been calling.
I mean, are they going to put the Punisher game on
we were talking about this on Biggie's stream a couple nights ago.
Cyrus is going to put himself on the side of the cabinet if that happens, because he's just I don't know.
Why couldn't they just release the same PCB with those three Marvel games on there? So what if it's not online? Like, whatever. Just give us a new form factor. Give us the Punisher again. Everybody's getting it. Mike, would you get it?
Yeah, if I probably would actually get that. A Punisher's theme. If it
was a Punisher kid.
Punisher skin. If they had the game on it, yeah.
Well, if it was Marvel Superhero. If it was a Marvel Superheroes skin, the 3 games. So X-Men Coda, Marvel Superheroes, and the Punisher in the Mortal Kombat 2 Deluxe form factor. The one you have. $4.99. Are you buying it?
I would be interested.
With all the super chats you got tonight, you're halfway there.
Punisher money.
Even if they didn't
Punisher
include online
money.
begging, like I know I'm with you 150%.
Yeah. That would
But
be great.
I'll take it, even if I mean you have that cabinet, even you modded yours, but
That's right.
it's a great cabinet. I mean, those are good games.
Punisher was in the Spider-Man cartoon for a minute there. I think he did make a cameo. I forgot about that.
5 deluxe form. It's even better.
Hmm.
The HS5.
He would get it if Paperboy was on it too. But 51% there, Phil. Thank you, Kevin.
We're working on it, Kevin. We're trying. What's that cab? If you're
we're really cooking here, guys. He's gonna be able to get that Punisher cab just off the strength of tonight.
This is the fun thing about Marvel. Unfortunately, we don't have this with DC. Is we have an X-Men 4-player cabinet. We have the Marvel versus Capcom, Marvel versus Capcom 2, and now the X-Men 97, plus the Marvel Pinball and a countercade. We got a lot of Marvel products. Like it's
it really is. If you're a fan
Caddyshack.
if you're a fan of those games, I mean, it doesn't really get any better, to be honest. It would
just
be
the
nice to
art.
see certain skins, certain cabinets come back with certain skins. I mean,
I want to get X-Men 97 just for the look.
But Phil,
I'd put it right behind me.
Phil, hear me out. They release a Taito Superman cabinet from Arcade 1-Up.
Well,
for me, it's day one.
Well, it is,
100%.
but you know what? You know what the good thing about that one is, Todd, is the Superman title is so small that we could probably just buy the real one. You know what I mean? Like we could. It's like the first Pac-Man cabinets are a lot smaller than what we're getting nowadays.
Yeah.
Like I'm tempted.
But that's why I'm thinking they could actually do one. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't. That would fit the home arcade form factor really well.
Well, with their relationship with Warner Brothers, right? But I'm saying it'd be easier to get that cabinet than like the 6-player X-Men. Like we could fit that cabinet in our homes. It's not much bigger than an Arcade 1-Up. I mean, if you ever saw it, it's a small cabinet.
I remember playing it. First time I ever played it was at Six Flags. And it stuck with me. It has stuck with me ever since because it's such an iconic cab. But I'm with you, Phil. If it ever were to get released, that would be like a day one buy, 100%. We would all be doing videos on it. It's iconic. It's Superman, for crying out loud.
It's a 2-player game. You have the Red Superman, who you called out should have been Shazam.
Was supposed to be Shazam, and if you dig into the actual character code, Shazam is in there.
But what other games could you put on that cabinet, though? You're not going to put the Batman arcade.
There's a lot of Taito games you could.
How does it fit in with Superman, though? Like, how could they do that?
You'd probably just have a bunch of titles, not necessarily DC related per se.
Saying anything's possible, you never know.
I mean, they'd probably just dump like the Sega Genesis Death of Superman ROM on there.
Yeah.
They'd probably throw that on there, and they'd probably throw Justice League Task Force on there.
Zero Redux Cyrus is on there.
He's on it.
Cyrus is on the side of the cab with a cape.
Does anyone? We have a Saiyan Spirits, and I have this running joke going on. Does anyone know who Sunman is? Masters of the Universe Sunman.
I remember Sunman being
he's the greatest hero of them all. I mean, everybody should know him.
I remember I also remember Sunman being a reskinned Superman game because the developers were told at the last minute that they couldn't release their Superman game, so they just changed the assets and made it into Sunman and then released it.
Well, he was that cheesy villain from Superman 4.
Well, that was Nuclear Man.
Oh, Nuclear Man. Nobody knows who this guy is.
And there were actually multiple Nuclear Men in Superman 4, but Superman 4 was severely edited down to the fact where we only got the one Nuclear Man. We actually got the Nuclear Man that looked the best out of all of the Nuclear Men that were actually in the movie in the beginning, and then they just stuck with one instead of like the 4 or 5 that they had.
What's MVMC?
Marvel X-Men. Oh, the 90. Oh, you're talking about the 97
I try.
Marvel versus
She's messing with me.
Capcom with MG. Well, I mean, it's $4.99. I mean, it's a reskin, and it's X-Men 97. It's probably worth picking up just for the X-Men 97 artwork alone at this point.
Yeah, that's the action figure I'm talking about, Thumper Squid. He's part of the Masters of the Universe
Well,
line.
Do you remember the elusive Wonder Bread He-Man, Phil?
No, I remember.
There was a special He-Man figure that was released only in the 80s, only through mail order.
Oh, okay.
And it was,
Wonder.
exclusively through Wonder Bread. And he looked like, and he was actually in the remake of the continuation that Kevin Smith did on Netflix. He's actually in there, and it looks exactly like it. He doesn't have any like speaking roles or anything, but he's in there like as an Easter egg for all the true Masters of the Universe fans who remember him. But if you go on eBay and you look up Wonder Bread He-Man, it is one of the most expensive He-Man action figures you'll ever see because it's so rare. And there have been so many knockoffs and so many people trying to sell bootleg versions of it to try and capitalize on the, on the nostalgia people have for it.
That's like the superpowers. Like if you scored like Plastic Man or Shazam, like who ever had those guys?
Nobody.
The superpower action figures.
Yeah.
I had the Clark Kent. Clark Kent was you reminded me of something, Zod. I got Clark Kent in like 1986.
$4,400.
You had to mail in for him.
Who did I get? I ended up getting Mumra. You had to mail in for Mumra. He was and you get him in his mummy form. Where he was.
Did you have the base where it would spin? Like you put the mummy in and then it would turn around and then Mumra the ever
no,
living.
It was just a basic. It was just a basic mold of like he was in the red in the mummy.
Yeah.
And he wasn't.
What a great toy line.
But you couldn't transform. But you couldn't transform him. He was just the decayed form. He wasn't Mumra the ever living quite yet.
I had the Sword of Omen. Like I had that when I was a kid.
I did too. I had a Sword of Omen.
I wish I still. Hey, Serge.
I wish I still had mine too, Phil. You and me both. We're both sitting here like Thundercats home. That is the ultimate nostalgia, bro.
I love it.
Mail in for the Chewbacca utility belt that held figures. That was a thing. Oh, it probably was. Yeah, the thing that Chewbacca wears. It really did have slots in it where you could put the little action figures in it. There was a lot of cool mail in. I mean, G.I. Joe, I don't know if you remember Sergeant Slaughter. They had a little mail in to get the figure for Sergeant Slaughter. It was extremely expensive.
I'm gonna put this in the chat so that you can share this with people, Mike Worley, so that people can see what we're talking about here. But it's in the chat there. You can share your screen and show everybody.
Right. Looking at it right now. I've never seen this before.
Yeah, this one might stump Phil.
Look at this thing. $5,000.
Wow.
And his head fell off.
He's got brown hair.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's in the Kevin Smith reboot, but he doesn't speak. He's in the background, but he's there. He exists. And there he is. Yeah.
Looks
rare.
like in pristine condition too.
Yeah, for $5,000, I mean.
Oh, they better be, huh?
Look at that.
It's different heads.
Yeah. Exclusive through Wonder Bread.
Dude on the sword.
The dog bit it.
God, it's a lot of money though.
I know. Seriously.
Rare.
Yeah.
I'd like to try to explain that to my wife.
Well, you see, Wonder Bread He-Man was a very, very special character. You see,
Yeah.
without Wonder Bread He-Man, we might not have gotten married. That's what you tell your wife.
Yeah. That would be the reason why he got divorced, I think, more.
He was the key to our marriage.
$5,000.
$5,000 laid right down on the table, Jesse.
There it is.
Good Lord.
Did I freeze up for a second?
No.
Okay.
You're all good.
Everything else froze on my end, and I panicked for a second.
Got to get a new computer, Mike Worley.
Well, I mean, what this old Gateway 2000 still chugging along.
Exactly, Kev.
I'd be happy with it. I'd be happy with a good bootleg of Wonder Bread He-Man for like $10
or a butternut bread He-Man.
Yeah, it could be.
Here's a bootleg for
Walmart brand bread.
They got a bootleg.
He-Man.
They got a decent bootleg for $170. There's a bootleg on eBay. I just found $170.
When any of you guys watch Mr. Home Arcade or CT Jason, he's real big into the Masters.
I wonder if he knows about Wonder Bread He-Man.
I would think he probably does.
I don't think he'd use them in one of his
no way. His drunk He-Man skits that he puts on that are pretty funny.
Dude, there was a re-release of this figure.
Thanks, Serge.
And it's $59.99, the re-release, and the re-release looks just like the original. So how are you gonna make people believe? Okay, you got to post this one, Mike. This is crazy. Look at this one. This is the re-release here underneath for $59.99, and it looks exactly like the one we just.
Oh yeah, all those re-releases. I have a bunch of them with the Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. And yeah,
it's almost worth it for this price. It looks exactly the same.
Right, unless you're
just to put on the
unless you're a
just
hardcore.
Take it out of the box, buy a plastic case for it.
My God, his name was Wondar.
Yeah, that was his name.
I thought whoever said that was kidding.
That's him.
Yeah, we could have just came across.
No, I have a couple
Walmart
of re-releases.
Or Target.
Yeah, I have Skeletor and He-Man of the re-releases.
And look, the sword doesn't look like it was bit up by a dog.
It's not as authentic. You gotta chew on it like the kids used to do.
Well, that's what you do. You give it to your kid, and you tell them.
Then they immediately put it in their mouth.
Right.
Look, it even comes as a little box, a little collector's box.
Yeah, little collector's box. I mean, I'm almost tempted to get it just because of the fact that it exists and it looks so much. It looks almost exactly like the authentic one for $5.
The Savage He-Man, it says.
Yeah.
Didn't know he was based off of a loaf of bread.
No extra head though. Yeah, MG, you're right. No extra head. Wait a minute. Is there an extra head in there though?
It didn't look like it. It just looks like
at the very no.
His sword and I don't know what is that? Some sort of blaster? Like what the hell is that? I didn't know He-Man used guns.
Wondar does.
That's true. That's right. You're right.
Oh, I found somebody that's got
whole weed.
I found somebody that's got it. That's got it in. That's got a bunch of them new in box for cheaper. $32.99. I think I'll buy one and put it in my own plastic case and put it on the shelf right next to my bootleg little Samson.
Makes me wonder. Yeah. Did you know? Yeah, Rocky Balboa joining G.I. Joe. I feel like I did kind of hear about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if there was something with that because then there was a Cobra. His name was, what the hell was his name? Was it Balboa or Big Boa or something like that? I think it was supposed to be based off of Rocky.
In hand. Yeah.
Rocky and Balboa.
Wondar.
No, I always thought it was super cool that G.I. Joe. I mean, God, they had what William the Refrigerator Perry was a G.I. Joe even.
Oh yeah, wonder how much that's worth.
Big Boa, probably a lot because I think that was another special edition, like a mail-in or something.
William Perry G.I. Joe. Let's take a look. He goes for about $200
for obviously loose.
No, he's in box. $200.
Oh yeah. Wow, no love for the fridge. I thought it would have been more than that. Well, guys, eclipsed an hour. I'm starting to feel it in my throat a little bit. I don't know if you noticed.
How are you feeling?
Drinking a lot of water tonight.
No.
It's getting a little scratchy.
Sorry, Mike.
No, it's okay. That's all right.
We did the show. Give Mike.
I forgot to ask you how you were feeling.
Give Mike some of those subs. Come on, Hey,
25 more. Is that
25 more? Maybe next week. Maybe next week you'll be at 1,000.
Just eclipsed 3,000. So Mike should actually
25
have
away.
10,000 subs by now by that metric. I mean, come
Might
on.
be having a Thursday night party next week.
Hopefully, yeah. I had a
That's
pretty
awesome.
good surge today.
It's
the one video I put out was pretty good.
Your shorts are
hit
killing
that
it. That's
hit
what
that
it is.
like, everybody.
You're doing
on the way out, please.
And like I said, they're fun. I'm a big old wrestling guy, and if I can mix that in and something that I like doing,
they've been really doing it.
You've been doing a fantastic job, Mike.
Well, thanks, guys. And hopefully by this point next week, I'll be over 1,000. Wouldn't that be something?
You can buy yourself a $5,000 Wonder Bread.
Yeah, there you go.
Go would be the only guy I know that has one dar.
Well, I mean, there's a guy on eBay that's got a bunch of them. Got a whole.
I wonder if I could talk him down. Was that a or best offer?
It was.
This
So
one is 32. This one
1,500, huh?
This guy's got it for $32.99. So $32.99 is pretty good. In box.
Am I a Cody crybaby? No, not at all.
Cody crybabies.
Oh, you're not fond of the shorts. You're more of a pants guy, MG. Oh, no, he didn't.
He's more of a pants guy.
We see Godzilla yet? Nope.
Yeah, you got to see Godzilla -1. That movie rules. In black and white.
Oh, you're a Cody guy, Serge. Offer that guy an ALP 4K straight up for the for $1.
$1. I am, man, guys. I'm tempted to get one to put it in that right next to my bootleg.
I mean,
complete in box little Samson. I mean, just to have it on the shelf. It's just,
haven't seen Ghostbusters yet either. Now, all this, me and the family all being sick, kind of ruined that.
$1.
Now I've lost the excitement about seeing it. I might just. I'm sure I could find it on a streaming network here.
Yeah, I hate to go too long because then I hear too much about it, and then I've been hearing back and forth things about it. So
yeah, and then I'm like,
I've
stayed away from spoiler stuff for so long.
Mike, you won't hate it. It's an okay movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm sure I won't hate it.
I've seen it. Yes, MG. I'm tempted to buy a $1 from a guy on eBay who's got boxes of them for $32 each. And so I'm tempted to buy one just so I could put it next to my bootleg.
It's true. Set. If he has a $1, he's probably a pinball fan.
I mean, hey,
odds are probably pretty good, right?
Nobody cares about pinball unless you're Michael B. Then you pretend, and everybody believes you.
Or unless it's Star Wars V-Pin, and then I'll.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, guys, before we go on too late, I know some of us, Phil, up bright and early. What do you guys got going on this weekend? Since we usually ask that question on Saturday morning.
Midwest Gaming Classic. So if anyone's going, I think I'm going to go Saturday and Sunday. Actually going to buy my tickets as soon as we're done with the stream here. Friday night, tomorrow, it's sold out. But, we did that in Cleveland where we went on the Friday, all the action starts Saturday. I think if you're going to go to something like this, you go on the Saturday, and if you hit Sunday, it kind of dies out. I mean, Mike, you were in Cleveland. What do you think about, out of the 3 days we were there, Saturday seemed like it was the biggest
Oh,
day.
without a doubt. Like we went Friday, there really wasn't nothing going on. It was just they were more or less setting up, and Saturday was the big boom, and then it was Sunday there was still a lot, but it seemed like everything was just kind of just fizzling out at that point. So yeah, Saturday definitely would be the day.
I'll watch for Dreamcast empty.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe
Well, he's gonna try to go Saturday.
MG, maybe I'll buy 2 of these Wonder Bread He-Men, and that way I can raffle off one on the show, because this price is good. $32.
It's still it's not like it's a fake. Like that's something we could have picked up at Target. Like when we see it says new for 22, we're talking about that one.
I'm gonna give it to you because I'm actually about to buy. I'm gonna probably buy 2 of them here, so I can raffle one off on the show. Here, I'm gonna send you the listing. Hold on.
That would be a good giveaway, huh?
Well, it's a nostalgic action figure, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just I have a reproduction He-Man and Battle Cat behind me.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with those things. I mean, they look they look great on shelves. Believe me. As I said, I have the Ninja Turtles and the real Ghostbusters, and I have the real ones too. Not all of them, but they look almost identical. If you didn't know any better, you wouldn't know that they weren't the originals. Ask her to get me a drink and some pills. She probably would. Yeah. All right, guys.
Alrighty,
pretty good for a night, I think, for our first Thursday. So yeah, you said Phil, you got the Midwest Gaming Classic this weekend.
We'll get some good footage.
So
I'm excited to run into anyone that's going. I hope Thumper Squids go. We got to text each other and meet up. I don't know about Quarterdeck. He kind of sold a couple of cabs. I really feel for him, and I hope he can make it. Along with I think James Hates Everything's going to be up here this weekend, so I'm looking forward to hanging out with him.
Serge said he has 2 tickets and plans on going. But
okay, well, I hope we run into each other, Serge. I'm going to get there Saturday when it opens. I learned my lesson at the comic book convention that this is something you want to get to early.
Great seeing you here, Socks. Awesome, bro.
Yeah, don't be waiting for Ed McMahon to show up at your door, because we
I
learned tonight that probably won't happen.
I will, Jay.
Well, I mean, Ed McMahon's been dead since.
I was just gonna say, it'd be a little spooky if he did.
I mean,
besides,
I actually thought about
if he wasn't dead,
a creepy pasta story about a zombie Ed McMahon delivering $1 million check to somebody who was about to die, and saying, "Oh, this is the $1 million for your soul because you're about to go to hell." And I just have this idea for this story, and I'm thinking I might maybe somehow tell the story in AI somehow. I'll figure it out.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you, everybody, for showing up, and catch you next Thursday.
Have a great night and a great weekend.
See you guys.
Peace.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.